Hi. Good morrow and merry meet. My name is Audra, and you are, in fact, in for a treat. I am excited. I I didn't even plan this. I don't have words for it. I should probably make sure people know that I'm live. I'm so excited. It's unreal. Um, I don't really. It's such an odd thing. It's such an odd thing. Hi, Felisa. Hi, Liz. Hi, Millie. Oh my gosh. Hi, y'all. Oh my gosh, Millie. Y'all, if you're not subscribed to Millie, please do, because Millie is a genuinely good, kind person. And I don't say that about a lot of people on this platform, to be honest. I only say that about the people I know. And I just absolutely adore Millie. So um, yes, Liddy committee. I am so excited. I don't really even know what to say. Um, because 5 years ago when I started this channel, first of all, I didn't know I was starting a channel. Please don't come for me. I didn't know. Hi, Peppy. Oh my gosh. Hi, Allie. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. Emily has power. So we're most likely doing that live tomorrow. And I have your comments saved. So thank you for sending all of that stuff. Because just FYI, people who are patrons and whatnot, I tend to make sure that I have them in my DMs properly so that I can actually respond to them. So thank you, Allie, because we're going to address that as well for that live. I had no idea that so here was the thing, because YouTube and Instagram, I don't know if they still do it, because I don't have Facebook and all this stuff anymore. So back in the day when you did Instagram videos, it would ask you if you wanted to also post it to YouTube. And I didn't know what it meant. So I was posting it. So my first YouTube, I've hidden them at this point, but they're literally me doing dumb-ish. Lacey, Spooky Lips and Fat Hips. I was like, listen, if you're ever feeling sad, watch this. And I have this video that I had privated because I didn't realize that I was posting it to YouTube. So it was just me doing weird dance moves to a Britney Spears song. Please don't judge me. Please don't judge me. Yeah, I'm not I'm clean faced and all of that. Moo Kitty, hi. Thank you. I wasn't sure about my work schedule. So patrons, channel members, I do believe we will have another movie night next week. So just FYI, I do believe we're going to have that. I'm so looking forward to October because I have so many plans for our movie nights in October. So yeah. But hi Jill, what's up? How are you? Hi. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, y'all, Celestial Gutter. If y'all see them in the comments, they're always slaying me. I am ugly, double chin laughing, lying down on the couch. It's such a good time. So make sure you whenever you're checking in the comments, if you see their name, just read what they have to say, because it's 9 times out of 10 gonna make you laugh, and it brings me so much joy. Yeah, I didn't know that I was posting to YouTube, and it wasn't until recently that I actually finally hid those videos, because I was like, Audra, what the fuck were you doing? What were you doing? I'm dancing and doing weird shit. I didn't realize what was happening with that. And then once I understood that I had a YouTube channel, I really didn't truly get it until I got divorced, and then I moved out, and then I started making purposeful content, right? And so to this day, I feel like my two biggest videos are the Manyo skin challenge, like the Manyo 7-day challenge. And then I have another one that was like some kind of clothing subscription thing where basically you're buying from like all these other brands, but they have it all housed in one spot. It's very annoying. But like it was a whole thing. Hey, Faye. Oh my God, Faye, I'm so happy to see you. Thank you. Oh, y'all, Alex, the alchemist is here. Oh my goodness. I'm so behind on my content. Listen, I got massively stressed because when I went to, oh my gosh, thank you. I feel like I'm gonna cry. I have like hi, big guy. No teeth. No, I know you're trying. I'm sorry, I got too excited. Can you not stand on that part of my legs? There you go. Now sit your butt. There we go. See, now you're winning. He's like literally not going to look at the camera like at all. I am so excited because like if y'all didn't realize it in my Dexter video, I had on the Beijing Baddie palette from Mira Beauty. And I was like, that's the perfect time to reuse it. Cause I'm going through right now is like trying to like use some of the palettes I haven't used in a while, like on camera. A lot of this stuff, that's one of the hardest things about doing beauty YouTube, to be honest, is like you have all this shit and like a lot of it, like I do use in my everyday life, but y'all don't see it. So it's like, let me make sure that I'm showing this up here. And so this is very exciting. Like, hi, Kathleen. Thank you. Kathleen, I appreciate you. Bo doesn't care about squashing me. He regularly stomps like every part. Like my legs are ruined. Sir, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Ouch. Watch your big feet. Don't touch those things. We talked about this. So it's very exciting. It's very like, this has been such an exciting time. Like I I became a makeup artist, like an actual like certified makeup artist in Texas. 20 December of 2016. I did makeup on a couple of people and realized I hated it. I still love makeup, but I was like, I don't like doing makeup for people. This is not a good time. One, because I don't I don't really like touching other people, and I never really thought about that. Like if I know you, I don't mind touching you, but I don't like touching strangers, and I didn't realize how much I hated it until I was doing it. And I was like, no, Emily, oh my God, thank you. Y'all are like ruining my day, but in like a good way. Yeah, he's gonna be over there licking himself. Hi. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Like, there's yes, the supportive vibes are just because when I had suggested and wanted to try makeup artistry and all of that, like it was a hard no in my relationship. And I was like, okay, but I really like doing this. And even when I started, sorry if my drinking noises are upsetting. Like I drink really loud and I'm sorry, but also not sorry because that's the way that I drink. But I started YouTube not with like the intent of anything at first. It was just like a place to be that was safe for me, that allowed me to like be creative and have a fun time, right? And also escape all the woes of like my real world, like my actual life at that point in time had really started crumbling apart. My marriage was like, and then like I have a video coming up about that here shortly, but like my marriage was crumbling. I had moved out, and I like YouTube became this like safe space for me to like hang out and talk about makeup and talk about whatever it was that I wanted to talk about and feel comfortable and confident in who I am as a person. And I didn't feel like I had that because I had just gained my confidence when I started doing YouTube. And I remember like looking into all the things that I needed to do for my YouTube channel. It was so ridiculous. Like the way that I was like looking up all of the things. I've had Wondershare Filmora since I started. So like I've been like back then I was badly editing my videos, which everyone's gonna do when you first start. Like your first edits are like not fantastic, and it's fine. It's fun to look at because you like see how much you've grown. Um, and and I was just like in a bedroom at that point in time. I lived in my friend Rodney's house, me and like another roommate. We each had a bedroom. And I lived in this bedroom and I'm filming using my computer laptop camera. And I remember that like I used my tax money to buy this Canon camera. It was such a mistake. I didn't understand that I needed to have like a viewfinder. So I spent this ridiculous amount of money on a camera I couldn't really use because I couldn't see what was happening. So I was like, this isn't going to work. So I was just like filming on my laptop. And a lot of times I was like just sitting on my bed because like that was the only space that I had to film for a while until I started like venturing out into the house when no one else was home. And I was afraid to do beauty because I couldn't afford anything because I was making like just like $11 an hour, I think. And so I was like, I can't really buy any new. And so I felt like I didn't belong in beauty because I realized like, I can't buy this stuff regularly. I can't buy the stuff. And so I went, was doing my fashion subscription boxes and other subscription boxes because like I could afford, $100, $150 a month on a few subscription boxes. Like I could afford that. I just could not afford to like buy makeup every other week. I'm like, I can't afford to do that. Like that's a lot because like one palette could easily set you back. And then if you wanted to get blushes and all of this. So it was just like a lot. And then I decided to like kind of dip back into beauty. And at this point in time, I had been watching Lacey, Spooky Lips and Fat Hips. I had been watching their content. And I didn't even know they knew that I existed, right? And I'm just minding my business. And on a Friday afternoon or Friday morning, really, because my laptop was super old and uploading to YouTube was just like a nightmare at the time. It would just take like an eternity. And I was so mad because I was having trouble changing the time and I was going to be late for work. So I was like, whatever, release at 9 a.m. I don't give a shit. Nobody's watching anyway. It doesn't matter. And this was a point where I was like, I'm going to quit. Like, this is like the last video that I do, like that was really my mindset was like, this is going to be like this and everything else that I've edited or whatnot. Like these, I'll throw those up and then I'll just be done doing YouTube. And so I'm at work. Minding my business and my phone, because this is what I used to have notifications on, and my phone just starts blowing the fuck up and I'm like, what is happening? And I finally get a break and I go and I see on Twitter that Lacey has shared my PR video. Like it was like the truth about PR. And I'm like losing my shit because it's just going everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? Who's watching this video? I dropped this video at 9 a.m. because YouTube, like there's like things that'll tell you when you're supposed to drop a video. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Christy. I appreciate it so much. I feel like I'm becoming like a whiny little, like I'm crying. But like YouTube would tell, like there were all these sources that would tell you like when the best time is to upload. And the thing is, when you're not monetized, you don't see your analytics. So I wasn't monetized. So I had to go based off of like some random schedule. And I normally drop my videos around like 1:30 Central Time. That thing blew up on me and I was like, and I suddenly had like 350 some odd more subscribers and I did not know what to do with myself. And I was like, and it was like, oh, and then like that helped me to continue making videos, making content because I just felt like there was no reason to. Like I was like, nobody cares. Like not like the people who were subscribed from that point didn't matter. I just felt like I'm screaming into the ether, and I'm putting a lot of effort into this for like not very many people to care, right? Like there were people who cared, and they were always there, and they always commented. Like there's a person, Ruth Washington, was always there, always commenting. And I just felt like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. Like mostly I was like, I'm definitely going to cut back, and I'm just going to do like a video a week. There's no reason for me to try to have like 3 pieces of content up every week, because like, it's not, the folks who are here for me, they're here, and they'll be there if I'm just doing it once a week. And then it all blew up. And then one of the wildest things that has ever happened was like, I was minding my business. And then Robert Welch is in my Twitter DMs, and I'm like, I'm sorry, sir, you lost. Like I saw it pop up, and I was like, are you lost? I think that you might be lost. Like, I don't know what you're doing here. And I was afraid to open it because I was like, there's no, like, that's weird. Like, what is he doing here? So I go finally, and I'm like, let me just be a big kid and go see what's happening. So I thank you, Kimberly. Fefe, yay. Fefe, everyone, Fefe. So I like open that up, and I'm like, and like he's asking me to like help out with his ghost story Mondays, and I was like, okay. I was like, okay, sir. I guess I was so nervous and so stressed. And at that time, I didn't have a fancy camera. So I was like, I was still filming. I feel like it was my laptop camera still, or a webcam. It was one of the two, but I didn't have like my Canon yet, or a better webcam. So I was just like, oh shit. I'm really stressed, and like the sound isn't going to be great. Like he's got all the professional shit. I feel like such a loser. And then that went well. And I was like, oh. And then I legit got the double whammy, and James was like, hey, how are you? I'm like, hey. He's like, hey, do you want to like do your, like, I want to feature you like on my favorites. And I was like on skincare favorites. I was like, what is happening in my life? It felt so weird. And now the nutty thing is, if not every day, it's like every third day that I talk to James, just like regularly. Robert's not good with technology, but like we just like chat with each other, and it's just like a weird, wild ass feeling to like, there's so many people that I never thought that I would be talking to today. Teresa, Emily, Lacey, like, Abby Williamson, like there's so many people that like I watch their videos regularly and just thought their content was amazing. And I was like, oh, they're so good. And never would have thought that I would be in any form, like any state of communication with those folks. Like never would have thought that that would have been a thing, period. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait, I'm missing somebody. Wait, Yadi. Oh my God. You are the reason why myself and somebody keep going even when we feel defeated and like we're not going anywhere. Your creator chats encourage us to keep going and do whatever the fuck we want. Oh my God. Stop it. Y'all, I don't want to cry on the internet. Also, I don't think I can physically cry. Like I can't physically cry. I don't have enough water in my eyes. I don't produce enough tears. I'm so sorry. Sophie, I heard you on the Welsh Twins podcast like a year ago, and honestly, your videos in this community has helped me so much during the panorama. Oh my gosh, thank you. Like like, I don't know what to do a lot of like, it's just I'm just having fun and doing what I want. And I realize that like I don't have to fit this mold. Like if you go look at like my old content, you can definitely see where I was like trying so hard, triceratops, where I was trying so damn hard to like be just like every beauty creator because I thought that's how you had to do it. You had to behave just like everyone else. You had to. You had to like, hey, like the soft voice, the perfect lighting, the like little string lights in the background. And I didn't have any of those things. I couldn't afford those things at the time. Um, everything perfectly in place. And it's one of the reasons that I love Cara from Beauty and the Frizz so much because she has children and they pop up in the background. And she just like continues filming and like makes that a part of her content. And I do feel like that was something that I finally started to do, especially when I got Beau. He had been abandoned and he was just really like right up on me. He was not going to be put in another room. I tried it. It was a whole mess. And finally I just started to be like, be here, be with me because I can't keep trying to put you somewhere so that I could film it. Like it's a whole thing. Oh my God. It's a 10K party. You can cry if you want to. Like I'm dry. I have very dry eyes. I like use this refresh stuff. I've inherited this from my mom. So like, yeah, give me the eye water. But like, yes, Pfeffy, the candles, the IKEA Alex drawers, like it felt like you had to, oh, Tina, oh my God, that's another person, y'all. But Tina, I'm going to tell you a story, Miss Ma'am. So you are one of the creators that like, especially, now I might actually cry. When I moved out by myself, for the first time I had my own place and I was living in like my own 1-bedroom apartment. This was 2018. And it was you and specific you and 90s Love Child for sure, but y'all and also Lauren May Beauty, but y'all became like my internet family. Because like when I moved into my own place, I did feel like kind of lonely and I was working so many hours that I didn't have time to like go out and have friendships. And so like y'all's videos helped me to feel less alone. Oh my God. Y'all's videos helped me to feel less alone because it was like y'all were talking like right to me. And Tina, it was like you were talking to me and your smile was so welcoming. Your car chats, all of your beauty videos, I felt like I wasn't by myself and I didn't feel like I didn't have any friends because it was hard to maintain friendships when I was like working so hard because I was like just busting my ass because my mom was having to help me so much because like the amount of money I made, I couldn't actually afford the apartment by myself. So my mom had to like supplement me to pay for the apartment. And so I would work regularly 12-hour shifts like every day. And so it like that makes it hard. Like when you're working Monday through Friday, 12-hour shifts, like you don't want to go do anything with anybody. And then when I would hang out with my mom, it was literally like we would get our hair done, eat some breakfast. And I was like, I'm tired. And I would just like go home. So I just never had anybody that I was hanging out with. And like your videos, it felt like you were talking directly to me. This is so like parasocial weirdo-ness, but like it felt like you were talking to me and I didn't feel by myself. Jen Love was there too. There are so many creators that will never know how much like you healed a part of me that I didn't know at the time, like was so stressed out because I didn't have anybody. I couldn't do anything, especially when I started working nights. Like who was I going to hang out with? When you work nights, there's nothing you could do. You can't like go hang out with people because it's it's Monday night, or it's Tuesday night, it's Friday night. Like nobody can hang out with you. And it's Saturday afternoon when they're all having barbecues, you're asleep. So like, oh, hi, Jen. So like when you're sitting there and you're living this life alone and it feels like you're getting nowhere and like all you're doing is working, like that's why I don't shit on the parasocial relationship, because it is beneficial. It like helped me to like not feel like a lonely ass loser for like a really long time. So like, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm crying there. Like I got tears. That's what I get for using my drops. Oh, congrats on your hard-earned success, Audra. We see you. We love you. We appreciate all the work you put into your channel. Thank you, Momo Kitty. I'm not supposed to be crying on the internet. T is going to be so disappointed in me. There were so many the ugly cry faces on help. Oh my God. Oh, Emily, I'm sorry. It's funny to me that the creators that I actually wanted to talk to and be friends with, I am talking to and I'm friends with, and I don't know how that happened. Oh, let me just like press my eyeballs. Like literally like the people that I wanted to be friends with, I am friends with. Like I talk to a lot of these folks every single day. And I can honestly say that one of the best things about being a creator and meeting other creators is how much you discover like that we're all just people. Like I'm never going to forget that, because Jen did say that to me. She was like, we're all just people. I'm a person. And I was like, I know, but I don't think about it because I see you on this like platform. I don't think of you as a human being. Like at the time, I was like, I don't think of you as like a real human. I think of you as like, so it's just like, it's wild. It is a wild ass ride. Like, I don't even know what to say, because like, this shit is wild. It's wild to me that like, when I started this channel, I didn't know I was posting. And then, and then I was purposely posting. And then I just was like ready to quit. And I've met so many wonderful people. And Tina, oh my gosh, yes. Yo, like there's so many people who are actually like so genuine, and I wasn't expecting it. I think that's the weirdest thing, because like, you know, they tell you not to meet like your heroes or whatever. That's true with some people, but the majority of the people that I have met, nope. I'm so happy I met them. They're like actually good people. Like they're fun, they're funny. Tina is as real as like behind the scenes as she is on camera. So it's like, this is like magic moments made. I'm like sitting here like, hi, how's your apartment? How is your apartment? How is living solo going? The Xander zone. Oh my God. Hi, Sharon. You missed Bo with his with the Triceratops. He had it for a little bit. So like, I feel like there's so many people who just, you know, I think that that's sometimes why if you see creators being exceptionally hard on somebody, it's because like we know, like, right? And but if you also see creators being softer on somebody, you also know it's because we know. Like if you know someone, it's different. It's just different when you know people. And it's always going to be like that. So it's like, it's kind of wild that I have all these people that like, I'm introverted as hell, but like, these are folks that if presented with the opportunity and this panorama is over, I would definitely like to meet in person. Now, I'm not going to say I won't ever go to like a meet and greet, but I would feel so awkward at an actual meet and great. I would panic. I think I would panic. I couldn't imagine anyone like wanting to like take a picture or like talk to me. Like that would be so weird for me. They'd be like, Audra, and I'd be like, what do you want? Oh, that's the best. Listen, I feel like you are like, first of all, welcome to the nuded up party. I'm proud of you. If you are a nuder up after you shower and whatnot, like, what's up? Yes, that's the thing. I can't imagine like that completely freaks me out. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Yadi. I feel like, aren't you in the DFW area? We'll have to figure that out one day. Like, surreptitiously be in the same place without actually being in the same place. Oh, Yolanda. He'd be my bodyguard. No hugs, no hugs. Back up. Form an orderly line, please. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So like, yeah, this whole thing has like really just been a whirlwind. I got a job. It was literally the same day. Today I hit 10K, and I also today have a full-time job. It was going to be part-time, and I didn't mind that it was part-time, but I didn't realize that it was going to be like more part-time than I thought. And once I realized that, I really haven't slept since Monday when I discovered how part-time it was going to be. I hadn't really slept at all. Really, I go to sleep, but it doesn't mean I sleep, if that makes sense. So I feel like I'm gonna have a good night's rest tonight because like I have a job, like it's full time. So like I and then like people have been enjoying my commentary style videos, and I am so happy to be able to do that because y'all I have been wanting to just like sit and talk for so long, but I felt like I had to be doing makeup. And it doesn't mean I'm not going to be talking about makeup. FYI, I'm still going to be talking about it. I think a lot of my makeup content might actually be live because one of the things I discovered is that I do love being able to talk like in real time back and forth about makeup that I have. So I feel like a lot of that is going to be live. I think depending on how things are looking with my job, I don't know my schedule yet, but more than likely next week, we're going to have a new makeup live. So I'm going to just be like hanging out with some of the new shit I have, and we're going to be talking about it, reviewing it. And I also have a conversation that I want to have about the Valentino Foundation. So it's like, there's like, this is gonna be nice. Like, so I'm really excited. I don't like, I love that because I just realized I really like to be able to talk to y'all live time when I'm talking about makeup because it's so much more fun, and I get to like answer like questions right then and there. And speaking of new makeup, I bought this as celebration. Care-a-Lot is a place that we can go for laughing and playing. Yes, that's right. Hey, Monica, hi. Thank you. So yeah, I have this. I got the violet ball. Listen, you weren't gonna like. I walked into Sephora to get it because I was like, I don't want to wait for it to ship. I want it, and it's way cuter in person. BT Dubs. I haven't swatched it yet, but we'll be playing with this at some point. Like, I really like it. It's cute. It's cute, y'all. It's really cute in person, and the pans are really big. Like, I don't care. I don't care. Somebody was like, that's not, and it's weird that somebody was like, they can't make a good palette. And then they were like, it doesn't match the bears. And I was like, have you never seen the Care Bears? Like, here's some of the colors right here. and it's in the palette. Like, what? What do you mean? The light's like fucking it up, but like on the cut. Excuse me? There will be no Care Bear slander in my house. Period. If you slander the Care Bears, you slander me. It's so cute. It's so cute. Sometimes you feel blue. Now we have listen, the way that like I know way too much about the Care Bears and sing too many Care Bear songs, it's like it's fine. I also like somewhere I have the Rainbow Bright movie on VHS. And it's most likely bootleg because it was when I lived in Okinawa, Japan, and it's not in an original casing, and it's got like that, those old school like like the 80s like script where it had to be like to type things out. That's the kind of print that was on Rainbow Bright and the Star Stealer. I really do. The way I went after Teresa, I literally in all caps because she was talking shit about the ballot, and I was like, how dare you? Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see so to treat myself, I did get that palette. My mom, because whenever me and my mom go out, my mom always buys. Like on occasion, I'm like, "Ooh, I got you this time." Like when I have the money, which that's about to change. And so my mom was like, "In honor of you getting 10K, I'm treating you to breakfast." And I was like, like, "Mom, you always treat." To be fair, I am an only child. To be fair, I am an only child. Bye, Angie. Have fun. See, thank you, Emily. You understood. You understood the assignment. Because guess what? When you couldn't sleep, guess who took you to sleep? The Care Bears. You like hats? I'm mad about hats. Listen, the Care Bears is a wonderful world that I will always say this every day. It's what taught me about horror. If you did not see me doing my impersonation of the sorceress, you're going to have to go back and find that because I can't do it again now. My mom is genuinely one of the kindest, sweetest people. And is one of the reasons why I'm a good parent. Like I'm a good person. My mom, I'm and I say this because my mom gets surprised whenever she finds out that I do whatever it is that I do for other people. She'll just look at me and she'll go, "You're a really good person." And I look at her like, "Well, you raised me." As a fellow only child, my parents get very confused when I try and treat them to things. That's the thing that people don't understand about only children. When we do be like, "I got you," they're like, "Are you sure?" Like they look at you like, No, I'm leaving too. I'm gonna leave in 15 minutes as well because thank you so much, Miranda. And good luck with all of your K-pop fun because I feel like I haven't been over there to check it out yet, and I'm looking forward. I'm not super into K-pop. I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me, but I like a lot, like Lamb of God, and Slipknot, Perfect Circle, Tool. That's Everclear, Darren, waka waka. That's where I am. Thank you. I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm Wait and Bleed still fucking slaps. And how old is that? It's super old. Wait and Bleed is old AF and it still slaps. Oh, go parent your tiny human. Good night. Thank you for being here. Oh, should I say I should? I go now. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that was unfortunate. That's really sad. That's really sad. Like, it just feels like it's so weird because, like, when you go look at your old, like, your favorite bands, I'm not gonna say old, some of my favorite bands, like 311. I know people are like, oh, 311 plays the same. Like, I don't care. They play the same song and I enjoy it. I like the way that they do things. And have y'all seen Nick Hexum lately? Because he's zaddy now. Like, it's weird. Oh yeah, before I leave, hold on. Let me get a little story for you. We'll change the lighting. And cuz I did promise that when I hit 10K, I am still living with your ghost. Lonely and dreaming of the West Coast. Hi, Jeffrey. I did promise some of my stories. So hold on. Let me see what story I can read that's not going to be like super long. Oh my gosh. This was super. Oh my God. Y'all, I found this like poem that I wrote. I had a, the poem is self explanatory. The poem is called Sacred Frog Pen. I have a pen that's covered with frogs. They are so cute. They're even better than dogs. Without this pen, I think I would cry. But since I have it, I feel I can fly. Hooray, hooray for the sacred frog pen. No one can touch it except my hand. I'm a weird kid. And this is how old it is. Do you see this print? This is like 90s print for sure, for sure. Like, how did I keep this alive this long? Um, let me find a quick little story. Jen, the sacred frog pen. I have no idea why I'm like that. Let's see. Oh my God, this is like horrific. I'm so like this is so awkward. I'm like, oh my God. These things that I wrote. I remember I remember that I read Lady Stalker. I have a very short story. Very super duper short. Hold on. Let me get the lighting together and I'll be right back. This is a very short story with like my beautiful, like look at my cursive writing was kind of nice to be honest. All right. Lady Stalker was hilarious. We read it on Twitch. It was hilarious. Like my stories, by the way, have very abrupt turns to them. I'm trying. Oh, wait. Okay. No. What we're going to do is the movie star. Okay. So give me a second so I can get the lighting right. This is so awkward. I will give me a second. So here we go. I have unmuted. I realized that I couldn't tell you, like, I couldn't read in like the darkness because I would not be able to see. Um, I should be good now. Good. Okay, good. So I'm pretty positive that I stole this from a romance novel that I read about a curvaceous redhead, but we're going to see. The Movie Star. Chapter 1. And it says in quotes, Brendan here. For those of you that don't know, I had a whole thing about girls having guy names. So here we go. Andy Walker watched her favorite television show with a dreamy smile. Two of Hearts was on, and Devin was asking the beautiful Jessica to marry him. She sighed when Devin took Jessica in his arms and kissed her. Then commercial break. First of all, why did I have commercial? I'm sad. I'm sad for me. I'm like, yes, Isabel, you entered at the perfect moment for cringe. We have a commercial apparently. Ladies, if you haven't sent in your form yet, then do it now. In 1 hour, a date with Brendan. Oh my God, I had a date with Tad Hamilton before a date with Tad Hamilton. This was before that movie was ever. Okay, moving on. We're going to start again. Ladies, if you haven't sent in your form yet, then do it now. In 1 hour, a date with Brendan Devin Roberts will be drawn. The lucky lady will be picked up in his limousine and taken to the Remington restaurant to dine. You have 1 hour. I like that it's called the Remington restaurant. Andy stood up and stretched her short legs. The cringe is already coming off of me. She hadn't bothered to send in a form because she knew she didn't have a chance. She looked out of the window. The Horseshoe Ranch was where she grew up. She had always ridden horses, and now she did it for competition. She jumped when the phone rang. She ran over to pick it up. Hello? Andy, you'll never guess who's coming to Whitewater. Tammy, slow down. Who's got you all excited? Brendan Roberts is filming a new movie. He's going to your ranch to film. All the girls are going to be so jealous. As Andy hung up the phone, she thought, Brendan Roberts? Here? Short-legged woman here, I feel seen. I'm loving y'all. Chapter 2. Andy watched as truck after truck came through the entrance of the Horseshoe Ranch. Getting sick of watching the invasion of the ranch, she walked over to the stables. A big black Arabian horse. It's honestly the only horse that I knew of. I only knew about Arabians. I don't know about horses. So that's a thing. A big black Arabian horse whinnied. Hey there, Nightwind. Are you ready for a ride, boy? She held her hand out to the horse, revealing the sugar cubes she held. Nightwind took them and nudged Andy. Okay, we'll go for our ride. Andy opened the gate and led the Arabian outside. As soon as they were outside, she saddled Nightwind, then mounted him. Her long, waist-length black hair flowed behind her as she rode. Of course she had long hair. Whoa, Nightwind. The Arabian stopped, its hooves pawing the ground impatiently. Andy's breath caught in her throat at the beautiful sight. The sunset was gorgeous. I've never before seen a real sunset. A strangely familiar deep voice said. She jumped off Nightwind and whirled around to face her intruder. She gasped. What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be filming or something? He smiled. Not until Wednesday. From the look on your face, you know who I am. Who are you? Andy Walker. My parents own the ranch you're going to be filming on. And yes, You are correct, Liz. The parents should have said something. And yes, Peppy, she is a horse girl. Leave me alone. Pleasure meeting you, Andy. Is that short for something? Yes, it's short for Andriana. Listen, I had too many letters in this name. It is literally spelled Andrianna. That was too much even for me. Dad's called me Andy since the day I was born. Andy turned around and mounted Nightwind. The Arabian immediately galloped toward the ranch. Hey, wait up, Brendan called. He mounted his horse and galloped after her. You ride pretty well. Where'd you learn? Taught myself. I've been riding before I even learned how to walk. I feel like I did this backwards, so let's start over. Hey, wait up, Brendan called. He mounted his horse and galloped after her. You ride pretty well. Where'd you learn? Taught myself. I've been riding before I even learned how to walk. You mean to tell me you taught yourself how to ride like that? She smiled sheepishly. Well, I had a little help from Dad, but other than that, I taught myself. Of course she did. She's a horse girl. She needed no help. You're some girl, Andy. How old are you anyway? Consent? Consent is here? 18 this month. Really? You don't look it. Oh, it didn't. Went downhill. So sorry. Thanks a lot, she said sarcastically. I can't even look my own age. Dozens of women are trying to look younger. I'm the only one trying to look older. Gag. I'm gagging. This is terrible. He laughed. A female hand crept over his shoulder. Brendan, you're needed over at the dinner table. We're waiting for you. Melody. This lovely girl is Andy Walker. Her parents own the ranch. Andy, this is Melody, my leading lady in the movie, because that's exactly how actors talk. And he's like, in the movie. We don't even know what this movie is called. It's just like the movie. Listen, Felisa, do not try to have knowledge. Oh my God. Hi, Boo. I'm so happy to see you. What are you doing here laughing at me? I can't stand you. Are you supposed to be asleep? It's late. I cannot. Andy nodded her acknowledgement, then turned back to grooming Nightwind. After she had finished the task, she turned to leave the stable. Want to join us to the party? That doesn't even make sense. No thanks, I'll just be in the way. No, you won't. Come on, it'll be fun. I really shouldn't. I can't anyway. I'm meeting Greg at Pop's ice cream store. Oh my God, why are all of my ice cream stores called Pop's? Like all of them. Every last one. No, Jim, it's not a horse porn. It's my middle school writings. It's my middle school writings. I fancied myself an author. A strange look crossed his handsome features, then just as quickly disappeared. Okay, I'll see you some other time. Of course, my parents do own the ranch, don't they? He laughed, and the three of them walked out of the stables, Melody holding on to Brendan's arm. Bum, bum, bum. Chapter 3. Andy urged the Arabian over the fence. When they were safely over, she heard clapping. Woo-wee! With that horse, you can't lose. I don't know why I spelled it out, but I literally spelled out woo-wee, which is WHOOIEE. You're welcome. If you ever want to spell woo-wee in your story, that is how you can spell it. She blushed. Thanks, Greg. We've been practicing. Well, you're going to take home a gold medal this time. She grinned at him. her gray eyes shining. Andy trotted toward the fence. You think so? Yeah, you look great on that horse. I think so too. Andy's breath slowed, her cheeks flushing. Brendan, what are you doing here? It's my lunch break. I thought I'd come by and see you. I'm glad you did. Greg, my friend. Greg, this is Brendan Roberts. He plays Devin on Two of Hearts. I cannot. Is this called the Arabian Bethany? Leave me alone. Dear, be sure this is a horse sport. I promise it's not. Peppy, you are an author. You even have Easter eggs through your works, the video store, the festival, the movie. Listen, yes. The way we were all obsessed with the name Brendan. Listen, I'm like loving that y'all are enjoying like my greatest humiliations, but also like it's so fun. I like how like we've obviously set this up. Like Melody likes Brendan. We know Greg likes Andy, right? Right. Okay. Oh, so he's the big shot movie star who's moved into your ranch. I'm not the big shot you think I am. I'm really just a normal guy when you really get to know me. Sorry, my schedule's full. Brendan glared at Greg, who glared right back. Hey, Brendan. I was just on my way to Mickey D's for lunch. Want to come? Because this is what we called it, Mickey D's. Leave me alone. Because the 90s we called it Mickey D's. Please just like stop judging. Sure, if your bodyguard doesn't mind you leaving. Andy rolled her eyes heavenward and guided Nightwind toward the stable. She knew everyone was staring the minute they walked in the fast food restaurant. Girls began to not pant, I'm so sorry. Girls began to point and whisper, but Andy ignored them. May I take your order? A busty girl said to Brendan. I'm fucking. Why is she busty? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, she busty girl. Oh, thank you, Cecily. Hi, Allison. Welcome. I'm literally reading my. I cannot. I'm like fucking falling apart. I don't know how narrators narrate because I can't do it. Ladies first. I'll have a cheeseburger, small fries, and an apple pie. Also, a small lemonade. And I'll have a Big Mac, large fries, an apple pie, and a medium Coke. I don't know why I included all of this. It's like so unnecessary. Is this ordered together? Yeah. $10.50, $19.99. Like, listen, that was true. Your number is 15. She smiled a dazzling smile, then reluctantly went on to the next customer. I'm so confused as to why they're at McDonald's and there is a waitress. Please explain. Oh my God. Listen. Jim, it's mostly makeup. But on occasion, I read my embarrassing, like, y'all be nice because I'm buttering him up so that I can utilize his citizenship in Ireland to marry and become an Irish citizen and escape the country. Shh, don't tell anybody. No, I'm just kidding. I have to be nice. I have to be kind. and courteous and pretend like I can cook. I can. I just might set the house on fire because I won't pay attention. All right. So, a busty girl just made a fan page. So, here we go. I hate to do this. Okay. After they had eaten, they sat at the table and talked. I hate to do this, but I have to get moving if I don't want to get chewed out. I understand. He stood up to leave, then turned around and bent down and kissed her full on the mouth. He kissed her full on the mouth. I don't even know what that means. It was a long and lingering kiss. Good night, Shannon. Thank you. I'm so finished with myself. Bye, Andy. See you later, Brendan said huskily. Of course it was huskily. She looked at his departing back dazedly. All the other girls were looking in her direction with surprised looks on their faces. He kissed me, she thought excitedly. In the event that any of you were wondering how a kiss is supposed to go, it is definitely supposed to be full on the mouth. Don't have kiss. Not the top lip. Not the bottom lip. Full on the mouth. Or it's not a kiss. We're going to do 5 chapters and then I will have to do the rest at some other time. So now we're on chapter 4. Beppy, please leave me alone. I was trying to be more mature with my writings. I really hope that there's not an actual sex scene in this because I'm going to be humiliated because I didn't even know what it was. All right. All I knew was like what I had from romance novels. Chapter 4. Andy watched the filming and understood why it was so hard to make it in the movie business. I don't need anybody, Dana. I've always had myself and I always will. It doesn't have to be that way, Jim. You could have had so much more. So much more. Stop trying to change me, Dana, because you'll only wind up like the rest of them. Brendan turned around, his hand sliding across the desk, sending everything on it toppling to the floor. He kicked chairs down. Stop it, Jim! Melody pretended to be afraid, her eyes getting wide, her voice shaking. Andy watched the scene again and again as they strived for perfection. Something caught Andy's eyes and she looked up. Brendan, watch out! Oh my God, Christy, please don't. Please don't. I'm going to say, based on my 7s, which it's based on this 7, the way that I wrote a 7 and the bubbled writing, I want to say that I had to be in like 8th grade. Also based on like this like depiction of like my like the all of the writings. I'm gonna put it around 8th grade. Like, is Jim Brendan? Yes, because he is an actor. Now we're on to. Listen, I'm so sorry. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm running away. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to do chapter 5, and then this is where we'll stop for now. The huge studio light crashed to the ground, surprising everyone. Brendan had leapt out of the way just in the nick of time. Andy ran down to him. Are you okay? I think so. Nothing's broken. I should hope not. His arm reached up around her neck and pulled her to his lips, kissing her. What the fuck? He nearly gets killed by a light. And he's like, thank God I'm alive. Let me make out with you. I'm undone. Finish it out. I don't want to kiss me. She couldn't believe he was doing this in front of everyone. I'm better now, he whispered. Andy giggled. You better be. I hate to interrupt this tender moment, but it's time we started filming again. All right, Melody, I'll be there in a minute. Andy saw Melody glare at her. Brendan kissed her again, then got up. She too stood up to go. Don't go, he said huskily. Why is he saying everything huskily? I cannot deal with me. Stay and watch. Then we can go eat. That sounds so dirty now. How could she refuse? Okay, I'll stay. She watched until the scene was finally right. I'm having such a hard time. Like, I cannot. I can't deal with like the fact that I'm weird. I'm so friggin' weird. Jim, I was trying to preserve your anonymity and you wouldn't let me. Huskily is like this. When you like kiss a lot, right? And then he's like, would you like to come in? And she goes, I shouldn't. That's huskily. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Oh my God. 8th grade me was into some shit. Okay. We're almost finished with the chapter. I'm going to try to make it through. Listen, we're not going to Mickey D's. We're lust thickened his vocal cords. Felisa, I'm finished with you. I don't want to talk to y'all anymore. Please stop it. Okay. Andy sat, nervously chewing her lower lip in Brendan's trailer. My God, in his trailer. Nervous? No! Then why are you chewing on your lip? You only do that when you're nervous. Do you know how cute you are when you do that? Someone please save me. Why? Why do I write guys like guys write guys? Please help. Send help. We're almost through. We're almost through. We're going to make it. We're going to make it. All right. Maybe I am a bit nervous. Don't be. I wanted to tell you something, Brendan. What? That light that fell didn't just fall. What do you mean? I mean that it was no accident. What? Someone cut the wires holding it up so that it would fall. Brendan looked at her sadly, then walked over to Andy and kissed her senseless. What the fuck is happening in this story? Literally everything that happens. He's like, that is too bad. Let us make out. Nearly killed by a light falling on me. Let us make out. Finding out it wasn't an accident. Let us make out. Okay. I was going to just go to chapter 5, but now I'm interested in what happens because I don't know. Is this a kissing book? I am so embarrassed. Like, give up. I love a love story with a murder mystery twist. We will see. Oh, Brendan can't help but make out. Like, that seems to be the thing. All right. Chapter 6. Andy floated through the day, happy that Brendan showed interest in her. I love that I always laugh like Daffy Duck. Moving on. Nightwind galloped, then jumped over a fence. She slowed him down until he stopped. She jumped down and guided him toward the stables. There, she met Melody. What the fuck is wrong with me? My writing style is so abrupt. This writing style very much tells me that I have like neurodivergency always been there. I'm not magically neurodiverse. Like, because this is written how I think about things. Like, it's just abrupt. Like, next thing, moving on. Like, there's no good transition. What are you doing in here? I figured I'd tell you so you wouldn't make a fool of yourself. Brendan has these flings all the time. You don't mean anything to him. As soon as he leaves, he'll forget you. You don't know what I mean to him. You don't know anything about him. I know enough to know that he doesn't really want you. You're just jealous. Okay, but when he leaves and forgets to write, don't say I didn't warn you. Melody swayed out of the stable, her steps light. She swayed, y'all. That is a girl fight. Oh my God. Oh, what a hater. Brendan must have slipped Millie Meldino. I cannot. Y'all are getting on my nerves. I love y'all so. Listen, it was the 90s. We're going into chapter 7 because why not, right? If you made it this far into, if you're still watching this on the replay, like you a real one, drop a turtle emoji for old time's sake. Chapter 7. Andy tactfully avoided Brendan all day. Whenever she saw him head her way, she pretended she hadn't seen him and went the opposite direction. If he called her name, she engaged in conversation with whomever was there. First of all, I just want y'all to know that I used the word engaged in conversation. This was 8th grade. Thank you. Maybe 9th. Now she sat in her living room watching Heartbreaker. That's the show he's on. Brendan was in that movie. But she had told herself she was only watching it because that was her favorite movie. She wished desperately that she could focus on the movie, but all that kept running through her mind was what Melody had said to her. She shook her head. That was exactly what Melody wanted her to think. And she was falling right into Melody's hands. Why is her name Melody? This was like a 90s. That's such a 90s name. Sorry, I'm getting stuffy nose because the temperature's changing. A knock at the door brought her back to the real world. She got up and ran to the door. No, Tammy, I will not let you cut off a piece of Brendan Roberts' hair. Thanks. A deep and definitely, also spelled incorrectly. It was spelled DEFINATELY. Definitely. Male voice said, Brendan, I thought you were someone else. Obviously. But thanks for not letting Tammy cut off a piece of my hair when I'm sleeping. You're welcome. Look, Andy, I've been trying to talk to you all day, but you've been extremely busy. I cannot do it. Thank you again. All right. I'm so sorry. That just really messed me up. He was like, you've been extremely busy. I thought the only way to talk to you would be to come to your house. You shouldn't have, she said sarcastically. He glanced at her. Who said what to you? Nobody said anything. I just decided that I don't want to be a movie star's toy for a while. How can you say that? After all we've been through, you think I'm using you? Please. Please release me from this torment. It's too much. After all we've been through. Boy, you've just made out with me a lot. We have literally shared no real moments. The demon had more connection. I am so, I cannot. Oh my God. Okay. We might make it through this whole story. Like, we'll see. We'll see. Andy turned away from accusing eyes. Who told you all this? Melody. Figures. Look, can I stay here tonight? Melody's in my trailer, flat out drunk. Why? I just want y'all to know I literally haven't read this in at least 20 years. So this is a lot for me. What's she doing in your trailer? She came over with some sort of seduction in mind. I could see and smell that she was drunk. Please help me. Hecate, I see what you've done for others. Andy turned away, angry. Nothing happened, I swear. She looked into his pleading eyes and decided he was telling the truth. Since my parents are out of town, you could have my room. You have to leave early in the morning so I can have my room back before they get back in town tomorrow. Thanks, Andy. Where's Nightwind? I'm crying. You're no one's banging the horse. This isn't one of those horse tales. Chapter 8. Andy rode Nightwind recklessly, her long hair untied and free from its usual braid. Her eyes sparkled and she was smiling. She stopped suddenly when she saw Melody. What do you want now? To tell you what happened last night in Brendan's trailer. I already know what happened and that you were stone drunk. I just want to leave. Let me leave. Is that what he told you? We did a whole lot more than what your naive little mind could conjure up. I couldn't spell naive. I spelled it Nieve, and I don't think that that is correct. That's just what you'd like me to believe, isn't it? But in spite of herself, she wondered what had really happened. After the good thing, I have this underlined, by the way, like multiple times, because I couldn't say sex. I said the good thing. After the good thing happened, we had a fight. He only went to your house because he couldn't be in my arms. Andy jumped off Nightwind and advanced toward Melody. Melody. You witch, Andy said ominously. She slapped Melody so hard that Melody stumbled back. Andy mounted Nightwind and started back to the stables, tears in her eyes. That's it. I am finished for the night. I'm so done. Like that is it for that is the story. Oh, yes, this one. Oh my. There was a bitch slap in this story. Before we called it bitch slap. I have always been ahead of my time. Oh, oh my god. Like there's so like I have all of this left. Like listen, maybe let me use the bathroom. I I cannot let me tinkle. let me let me tinkle and I will BRB because we'll finish the story. For anybody watching this on the replay, I am sorry. But like we're gonna take like everybody take a little break, chill out, get your drinks, use your restrooms. That is what we're gonna do. BRB. All right. We're back. I now have a win. Hi, Yolanda. We're definitely going to finish this tale. Like, fuck it. Like, why not? Like, who cares? I'm celebrating. Like, you should. You should feel at home here. This is a good spot. This is a good joint. Like, hey, Alex is here. Yay. Here we go. We are now on chapter 9 of my novel. Andy sat in the hay, sobbing quietly. Why would Brendan do such an awful thing to me? She asked herself. She was feeling worse by the minute. Andy, where are you? She quieted her sobs immediately. She heard him walking around the stable, searching for her. She tried to sink into the hay. At first he didn't, but when he did, his eyes, I guess he didn't see her. But when he did, his eyes clouded over. Why are you hiding from me? Because I know the real reason you came to my house. I already told you the real reason. Yeah, right. You and Melody had a love spat, and she wouldn't let you go to her trailer, so you came to my house. Who told you that? Your lover, of course. My lover? Melody doesn't mean anything to me. She only wishes she did. She's been trying to get me to date her since I was 16. I didn't like her then, and I don't like her now. Why won't you believe me? I don't know. Maybe because she sounds so convincing. Can't you see? I love you, dadgummit. No, not dadgummit. Please. Oh my God. Listen, at 15K, we're going to have to do another one of these because this is ridiculous. Chapter 10. The words flew from his mouth. Andy's mouth was opened in a surprised, oh. It only took a few steps for Brendan to reach her. His arms were around her waist, and they were kissing even before she was in an upright position. You love me? Yes. I think you ever since I saw you. I love you too, Brendan. I know nothing about you, but I love you. This is definitely neurodivergent love. Like, I saw you and I love you. They kissed again, longer this time. They grasped hands and headed out of the stables. Why are they always in the stable? As they neared the door, smoke filled their nostrils. Oh my gosh, Brendan, it's a fire. Chapter 11. The flames flickered in front of them, blocking the exit. Brendan pulled her away from the door. Soon, they were enveloped in a circle of flames and smoke. Help! Somebody help! It's no use, Andy. No one can hear us. Andy put her hands to her mouth and nose to keep the smoke from entering. In spite of everything she tried, she began to cough. I can't breathe, Brendan. Try to hold your breath. Then breathe. Hold your breath. Breathe. And so on. He actually said it, so on. She nodded. The fire was creeping closer to them. Brendan gathered her small, pixie-like body to him. She quivered and shook. Brendan closed his eyes and prayed that someone would get here before they were charcoal. He didn't want to die. Not when he'd finally admitted his love for Andy. She whimpered and went limp against him. Before long, he thought, the fire's going to close in on us. He realized that Andy must have fallen asleep against him, so he nudged her to wake her. Wine. My throat is like so sad from laughing. Andy, he whispered. Andy, wake up. Wake up. She didn't move. He noticed that the usual rise and fall of her chest wasn't there. Then it occurred to him, she's not breathing. I cannot stand me. I am so terrible. My writing is, oh, wow. He picked her up, filled with new purpose. He draped his jacket over her face and ran through the flames. He was at the stable door, trying to figure out how he was going to get out. Brendan, Andy, you hold on, you two. We'll get you out. Help us. Andy's not breathing. Dan busted open the door, and a spray of water came rushing in. Someone took Andy from his arms, and another someone pushed him out of the stable. He had no sense of what was going on, only that he wanted to be with Andy. When he got there, he saw that they had her breathing again. His heart filled with joy, then anger at whoever had put her life in danger. What the fuck is happening? Christy, thank you. I don't know about Nightwind, Feffy. I don't know. I don't know if Nightwind is gonna make it. Dan is not. So listen, my mom used to try not to curse, and she used to say things like "dag nabbit" and "dad gummit." I am finished with my life. I am so embarrassed, but we soldier on into chapter 12. For several days, Andy was bedridden. Brendan stopped by every day, bringing flowers, a bear, and boxes of chocolates and other goodies. I didn't say stuffed bear, so we don't know if he just brought her a live bear at this point. Really, Brendan, you don't have to hang around like a mother hen. Yes, I do. I want to make sure you're perfectly all right. I am. Tomorrow I'm going to get back to training so I can win the gold medal. We don't know what the gold medal is for. She just wants to win it. Is it the Olympics? Is it the horse-a-thon? We don't know. Don't overdo it, okay? Yes, mother. He laughed, but stopped when Melody popped into the room. Brendan, you're wanted. Lunch break is over. I'll be right there, Melody. Melody made no move to leave, so Brendan bent over and gave Andy a short but sweet kiss on the mouth. I'll come back when I can. Now, go get some rest. I'll be up and moving tomorrow, and then we can go riding. He nodded and walked out of the room. I'm having so much trouble because, like, to read this when I literally haven't read it. Chapter 13. Andy giggled as Brendan proceeded to poke her in the ribs. You better go before they get mad at you for not being there on time. Movies can wait. Love can't. He leaned over and kissed her. She pushed against his chest and said, Go. Okay, I'm leaving. He got up slowly and grinned. Keep my saddle warm. I can't. I've got to ride back with you. Then keep it warm when we get back. Can't do that either. I've got to go to practice. Okay, then, keep that smile just for me. That you can have. He grinned again, then mounted his horse, Andy following suit. I'll race you, Andy. Of course, there's a horse race. Feel like getting beat, do you? No way. He took off. Hey, you cheated, Andy said, following him and catching up. That was a good race. Yeah, too bad you got beat. You don't have to rub it in, Andy. Oh, yes, I do. You cheated and I won anyway. I don't know about you, but I think it's phenomenal. Brendan winced. Andy laughed. The two of them walked out to the soundstage, laughing all the way. Put him up. Brendan turned around and put his hands up. So did Andy. Don't shoot, Brendan said in a mock scared voice. Melody pointed the prop gun at Brendan and moved it to Andy. Then back to Brendan. Look, lady, don't shoot. My wife's pregnant. At that point, Andy punched him in the ribs. Melody pointed the gun at a point above Brendan's head and pulled the trigger. The blast that erupted from the gun surprised them all. Melody dropped the gun like a hot potato. Brendan stood, stunned. Oh my gosh, Brendan, I had no idea, Melody sputtered. Brendan just stood there like a statue. Andy screamed, long and low. Some guy came over, picked up the prop gun and examined it. Andy found her voice and said, What's wrong with it? You want to know what's wrong with it? I'll tell you what's wrong with it. This prop gun isn't a prop. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Listen, I don't know why I was like this, okay? I'm still like this. Such a dramatic ass bitch. This is why I'm single. Because if you can't bring drama to my life, I don't want you. Chapter 14. Not a prop. You mean it's real? That's exactly what I mean. Brendan, you have any enemies? No, I don't. I don't think so. Why would anybody want to kill me? That's exactly what we're trying to find out. Later that day, Brendan told her the story. It started when I first started making movies. At first, I used to get threatening notes saying stuff like, I'm going to kill you. It was no big deal until the accident started. All sorts of weird accidents happened. It's been like that ever since. That dream date that happened 6 months ago wasn't much of a dream date. Bodyguards were there during the whole thing. I don't know why that's there, but here we go. But why would anybody want you dead? Maybe because they don't like me. I think there's another reason. I just don't know what yet. Chapter 15. Andy rode Nightwind. Nightwind's alive! Andy rode Nightwind confidently. I could not spell confidently because that's not how you spell it. She felt as if she owned the world. Finally, she turned and headed back to the stables. When she got to the stables, she was swarmed by reporters. Out of the group came Brendan. I changed her name midway. Like now her name's Adrian. Adrian Walker. Wait, please hold. Let me start again. Out of the group came Brendan. Adrian Walker, will you marry me? Andy looked stunned, almost surprised. Yes, absolutely, positively, definitely, still can't spell it. Yes. Brendan didn't even wait for her to get off the horse. He just dragged her off it. She was in his arms as he twirled her round and round. Cameras flashed and questions were shot out at the couple. I met Andy for the first time when she was watching the sunset. I knew right then I was a goner. Cameras flashed again. Miss Walker, how do you feel about Brendan Roberts? I fell in love with him seconds after he did me. Before any more questions could be asked, Brendan bit his head and kissed his fiance. Please, cheers. A proposal. Yes. Kayla, what is even happening? Listen, my writing was very abrupt. It was very abrupt. Chapter 16. Andy walked the short distance to Kmart, the diamond sparkling on her finger. She pulled the door open and welcomed the cool air on her skin. Several girls looked her way, whispering. They waved to her and she smiled, going straight to the clothes aisle. I spelled aisle wrong. I spelled it like island instead of aisle. I missed the A. It took her a while to pick the outfit she wanted at the Kmart. But she found it. A violet shirt and black mid-thigh shorts. What are mid-thigh shorts? You're the girl Brendan Roberts is going to marry, the cashier said, astonished. Yes, I am. Look, I have to get home and do some practicing before Brendan and I go out. Can we talk later? What the fuck? This is a stranger, Andy. You don't have to have a conversation. Sure. The girl totaled up the sum and received the cash. Andy waved and walked back home. Well. Look who's here. What'd you do to get Brendan to ask you to marry him? Get him drunk? No, Melody. Unlike you, I don't have to drug him so he'll love me. He already does. Don't be surprised when he breaks off the engagement. Nothing you can say will ever make me doubt him, so you can take your lies elsewhere. You'll be sorry. Melody stalked off, leaving her jacket behind. First of all, she's obviously practicing writing Night Wind. Hello? Have you not been following the tale? She is practicing writing Night Wind. Hello. Chapter 17. The television screen came to life. Andy flipped through the channels looking for something interesting to watch. Brendan had to work late tonight, so they wouldn't be joining her for dinner. Why would I say they? It's just him. But you know what? I was ahead of my time. I was gender neutraling before gender neutraling was a thing. You're welcome. Her parents had been thrilled when she called them in Pestle. I guess that's the town that they were in. They had given their blessings, but had to cut the phone call short so they wouldn't run up the bill. It's just like, Mom, Dad, I'm engaged. That's great, hon. We don't want to run up the bill. We don't care about who it is. Goodbye. Andy settled down to watch Cliffhanger. That was actually my favorite movie at the time, so that makes sense. It has Stallone in it. It was a good time. On HBO. Wait, that'll actually date this. That will definitely date this. What year was Cliffhanger released?
1993, according to some information I found on Wikipedia.
1993, I was 13. that has dated this. I was 13 years old when I wrote this. You are welcome. And it was on HBO, so like that's pretty intense. The good part was beginning when the power shut off. Dun, dun, dun. She looked around the room, then got up. She went off in search of batteries, flashlights, and candles. When she heard a noise in the kitchen, she stopped dead in her tracks. Brendan? When no one answered, Andy started towards the kitchen. She reached the kitchen in 5 minutes, trying to focus in the dark. Someone grabbed her and she screamed. Lights out. Chapter 18. When Andy came to, she was on the couch and Brendan was sitting beside her. Andy, what happened here? I don't know. The lights went out and then someone hit me over the head. Yay, Kara's here. Y'all subscribe. Oh, I have plans. Listen, I have plans. I have plans. Okay. Did you see the person who did it? No, it was dark. I wish I had seen them though. Don't worry about it. All I'm concerned about is your safety. She looked at him and smiled. I'm afraid, Brendan. Someone's trying to kill me. Brendan gathered her in his arms and rocked her like a child. Chapter 19. What happened? Like, the people came in by the dozens. I'm nervous, Brendan. What if I mess up? Then you mess up. Don't worry so much. She smiled. Next, number 17, Adrienne Walker, who that is not how her name was spelled at the beginning, but we're going to keep going. Andy trotted out on Night Wind, then signaled to the judge that she was ready. Her first jump was successful. So were the other jumps, because that's about as much I know about horsing. All right. Leave me alone. Listen, she is at the horse-a-thon, Tia. She is. This is so ridiculous. Okay. Number 17, Adrienne Walker, finished with 32 points. I don't know what that means because I don't know anything about horsing, but we're going to say that that's good. Brendan came out and hugged her. I did it, Brendan. He whirled her around, then gave her a bouquet of roses. Finishing in third place, number 5, Vicky Swern. In second place, Number 21, Terry Wisnowski. I had a thing about names, y'all. In first place, number 17, you guessed it, Adrian Walker. Andy jumped up and down, happy that she finally won first place. We don't know what horsing event this was. She's been practicing. There is a medal and she won. Chapter 20. For she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny. Everyone sang merrily at Andy's win. I'd like to say a few words about my fiance. The noise in the room quieted. When I first met Andy, I cannot say it. Oh my God. When I first met Andy, I was nothing but a playboy, searching for girls whenever I had the free time. I tried to convince myself that she was just another conquest, but failed. Now, we're going to be married. And she's changed me so much. Oh, for the first time in my life, I care for somebody. More than that, I love her. I am. Ah! You can bury me on Deadwood Mountain by my father, Wild Bill, and sister Calamity Jane. That was a Big and Rich reference. Oh, I am reading a story I wrote when I was 13 years old, Alina. Wow. I thought you said a few words, Roberts. Everyone laughed. Andy excused herself and went to the restroom. She opened the door, then screamed. Chapter 21. Samantha McGregor lay unmoving. She was deadly pale. A small trickle of blood ran down her mouth. Brendan and the rest of the party came rushing to see what was wrong. We're introduced to a character who has a first and a last name that we have never seen before. Brendan wrapped his strong arms around her, not Samantha, around Andy. He guided her out of the bathroom and to her house. She awoke feeling drained. Brendan was looking down at her, worry lines etched in his face. Brendan? I'm here, Andy. How are you feeling? A little tired. Oh, Brendan, it was so awful. She didn't even move. Don't think about it. It will only make things worse. It's hard not to. She was just so dead. I swear to God, that's how I wrote it. It's like a rude awakening. knowing that my life, anybody's life, can end so quickly and so brutally. I know. I start asking myself, that could be me lying there. It would be telling yourself because you didn't ask yourself a question, Brendan. Moving on. Then I try to shake off the feeling that my life could end so quickly. She tried to smile, but it was a feeble attempt. Her eyes fluttered shut. I love all the questions because same. I am reading my own writings and I'm like, I don't know who Samantha is. Just a person who's never been introduced until she had to die. Chapter 22. 2 weeks later, Andy was up and active. Brendan was filming, so he couldn't be with her much. The ring sparkled brightly on her left ring finger, causing all the girls to ask her what Brendan was like and if she was going to live in his mansion. She smiled and quickly changed the. I said arrange the subject. It should have been changed. Brendan ate dinner and lunch with her when he could. Most of the time he couldn't. Because filming ran late. She didn't mind. She usually went out to eat anyway. Why so much exposition about nothing? So when she found the note on her desk from Brendan asking her to meet him in the barn, she jumped at the chance to be with him. How much you want to bet this note is not from Brendan? Brendan? Andy took hesitant steps into the barn. What happened to the stable? Her hand reached out to turn on the lights. Brendan, where are you? A figure stepped out from behind a horse stall. Brendan? No, a cold, steely voice said. I'm not Brendan. Chapter 23. Andy's eyes widened when she realized who the figure was. You? What are you doing here? I've been waiting for you, of course. What do you mean, waiting for me? I'm here waiting for Brendan. I cannot stand how stupid this bitch is. Please help. You only thought you were. I wrote that note. You lie. No, I don't. Don't ever say that. You didn't write that note. Oh, yes, I did. No, not you. I swear to y'all, that's how it's written. Like, I swear it's written like that. Like, I'm not kidding. Chapter 24. Yes, it is me. Why, Melody? Why? Because he wouldn't come to me on his own. I fell in love with him when I first met him. At first, he liked me. Then he met Samantha. She was so pretty and perfect, doing everything for him. Then I made up the accidents. I didn't mean to kill her. That was an accident. She shouldn't have played with the prop gun. After that, I knew the only way to get rid of the other girls was to scare them. Then you came along and refused to be scared away. You took him away from me. The only way to be rid of you would have to be the same as Samantha. Andy's gray eyes widened, in case you forgot that Andy's eyes were gray. Please, Melody, don't do this. I have to. It's the only way. With those words in mind, Melody struck the match. Shit's getting serious in this mofo. Chapter 25. As Melody neared the hay, the barn door burst open. Brendan tackled Melody from behind, blowing out the match in the process. The struggle was brief. Melody jumped up and ran out of the barn. The sound of a truck starting brought both Brendan and Andy to attention. She's getting away! We have to stop her! Let her go. But Andy wasn't listening. She jumped up and ran out of the barn. She was late. People were already surrounding the blue truck. Melody was inside crying. I had to, she sobbed. Chapter 26. Andy walked down the aisle, still spelled incorrectly, as an island, not an aisle. In her beautiful white dress, people's oohs and ahs echoed in her ears. They were joined at the altar. Brendan Taylor Roberts, do you take this woman, Adrian Ann Walker, whose name changed from the beginning of the book, to be your lawfully wedded wife, through sickness and through health, till death do you part? I do. And do you, Adrian, whose name changed since the beginning of the book, Ann Walker, take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband, through sickness and through health, till death do you part? I do. Rings, please. With this ring, I thee wed. With this ring, I thee wed. I now pronounce you man and wife. You may now kiss the bride. And Brendan did just that. And that was the end. That was the end of the story. This has been The Movie Star by Audra, German last name. That was so cringy to read. Like, the abrupt turns. It's like everybody surrounded Melody. We don't know if she went to prison. Who cares? Andy and Brendan are married. At 18. We still don't know how old Brendan is, to be honest. He asked her how old she was to get consent, but like we don't know how old. Brandon could be 50. Brendan could be 50 years old. We don't know. I was reading Babysitter's Club. You were being the 14-year-old Nicholas Sparks. Spirit of night winds around us all. The way I cannot get over that they went to McDonald's and there was a waitress. It's McDonald's. Like, my cheeks hurt from laughing at 13-year-old me huskily. Maisha, for real. People were doing things huskily. Listen, 13-year-old me was reading a lot of Harlequin novels. Do with that what you will. So, let me look in here and pick out the 15K story, I think. because that happened. We have to have like the 15K. Oh, so it's pretty imperative that you tell your friends, because 15K is going to yield the slasher. This artwork was commissioned. That's not my art. I believe, I almost remember, her name was Katie. Katie. She drew this for me. 15K, and we'll be doing the slasher. Katie was a very good artist. Like, look at the detail. Like, do you see the detail? And like, there's fingernails. Like, do you see like the muscles? All this shit. The blood. That'll be our 15K live story. The slasher. And prep yourselves. It's probably gonna be just as cringe worthy. I am so I do not know. Here's the thing. I didn't even pay. Like, I didn't even know that I should pay Katie. I commissioned this artwork. And I don't, Katie Gregory. I feel like that was her name, Katie Gregory. She was such an awesome person. She moved, I think. And I didn't. So yeah, 15K, we will be reading the slasher live and having a great time. This was fucking awesome. Thank all of you for celebrating with me, for enjoying. Like, I can't believe we made it this far. I can't believe I made it this far. Like, boggles my mind. I appreciate y'all to the fullest extent. And I am going to go. Maisha, with the abrupt change, like, I feel like I would have to go through and like fix them. Feppy. Oh my God. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Like, this has been so wonderful. I'm surprised that we were able to keep 50 people like this entire time while I read my cringe. I appreciate y'all. I thank you. Like, this is honestly a dream come true. So maybe this time next year, my entire job will in fact be YouTube. Who knows? But until the next time, it costs $0 to be kind. It's so, so good for your soul. Because if you don't take care of your soul, you definitely know I have the writing skills to come for yours. Until next time, XOXO. Got the girl.